CharMargolis, Char Communications Incorporated, and CharVision LLC do not endorse or offer for any purpose but entertainment the views of any guest or other expert on CharVision or UBN.
I knew things before they happened from the time I was a child. At the age of 8, I saw a spirit at the foot of my bed and didn't know what it was. And in my 20s, I finally realized I had a special ability that could help others. I have learned that love never dies. There is a spirit world that can communicate with us, and we all have the gift of intuition. Join me, and together we will explore the possibilities of the unknown from beyond and more. This is CharVision.
CharMargolis.
Hi, everybody. It's Sunny and Char, and today is Friday the 13th. It's November 13th, 2020. What do you know? I think it's good luck, Friday the 13th. Well, but what I want to do today, I'm going to be taking callers, but I really want to say a prayer for our country and for the world, because I just feel like we need it with the COVID thing and the political stuff. I just feel like we all need to put a white light around ourselves and a mirrored egg around ourselves, and then maybe around the whole planet, because I don't know, I just feel like it's really, really important to pray for our world right now. So anything in, near, around, or about our world that is not of light, go back to where you came from and turn to light if you choose, but stay away from us. It's just, you know, with a collective consciousness of prayer, the more people that, if we all thought the same way and worked at healing one problem at a time in the world, we wouldn't have so many problems. But we're so divided now, and it's just annoying and upsetting. So anyway, have you ever had a premonition that came to pass about something important? Did I say that right? Have you ever had a premonition? My sister gave me this and I'm trying to read it. Wait a second. Have you ever had a premonition that came to pass about something important? So, Tony.
Yes, ma'am.
You said you had one. You had a premonition. What was it?
No, I didn't. I'm just kidding. No, I have one. Well, when I was a boy, because like I said, I don't remember a lot as an adult, but when I was a boy, I had a dream, but it was more a feeling that I had one of my best friends, my uncle.
Oh, we're frozen.
No, you're fine.
How did we get frozen?
Oh, you're fine. I see you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So when you were a boy, go ahead.
So my uncle had a dog named Dandy, and I love that dog. We were like best friends, you know. We were always would hang out and stuff. So like Sonny, and so when my dad, my family all went on a vacation, we were gone for about a month. We used to go on month vacations during the summer.
Wow.
And so, but what was weird about it, I started having these premonitions or dreams about people wanting to kill Dandy and chasing him and, you know, trying to hurt him. And so when my dad called back to check on his grocery store, because that's what he owned at the time.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah, he was a grocery man. And I said, ask Uncle Jim about Dandy. And so my dad said, oh, okay, Tony wants to know about Dandy. And he goes, oh, I had to put him down. Yeah. Yeah, he actually had to put him down, because I don't know what happened, but I don't remember, but he had to put him.
No.
So that was my premonition about Dandy. And I'm sure I've had others, but that one sticks out the most.
It was in a dream.
It was in a dream, yep.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That's crazy. I haven't even thought of if I'm sure I've had premonitions
I was going to say, how do you tell a premonition than just being able to do it?
Just think, I just have to think, and then things happen. But I think, I don't know. I'm thinking about the time I saw my sister at University of Michigan getting her doctorate, and I said, I see you getting your PhD there, and she applied and they turned her down.
Oh, wow.
And then she applied again and they accepted her. Thank God. So she got her degree in psychology. But, I know. I remember when I first started doing this work, I was actually married.
Ooh.
And I know, people don't know that I was married. And I had a house up north. We had a house up north in northern Michigan. And my parents were coming to visit. And I was talking to my mom. I said, Mom, just tell Daddy to stay in the right lane. And it's like a 4.5-hour drive. She said, okay, so just tell him to stay in the right lane. And they always listened to me because I knew things.
Oh, really?
And my mom was the backseat driver, so she kept saying, get in the right lane, get in the right lane, Herbie, get in the right lane. And so my dad listened to her, and there was, in the second and first lane, there was a big accident and a car came swerving, and if they weren't in the right lane, there would have been a bad accident.
Gosh. Wow.
Crazy, because it's really crowded. You know, it was 4th of July weekend, and everybody goes up north in Michigan for 4th of July. So
they go north?
It's so beautiful. Northern Michigan is the best kept secret. The lakes are like oceans, but they're fresh water.
Oh, wow. That would be beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
Oh.
It's clear and clean, and you can see to the bottom.
Oh,
Oh my God. You know I think there was someone famous who used to go there all the time. I don't know if it was Charlton Heston or somebody who had a boat there, but there's Mackinac Island, which is an island in the middle of the lake. I think it's Lake Superior, and it is gorgeous. Is it Superior or Huron? I don't know if somebody's going to call in and say, don't you know anything about Michigan? So, and it's this island that they do not allow motorized vehicles on, only horse and buggy and
that's cool.
bicycles.
That's kind of like Catalina.
Oh yeah, Catalina's like that, but it's really, really beautiful. So and it's called Mackinac Island. They're known for their fudge. They make amazing fudge.
That sounds so good. Thanks. Now I want fudge.
Right? I'll get you some.
Okay.
So good. So so that was a good story that you had. So are there any phone callers?
Oh, tons.
Oh, there are?
It's full.
Is there anybody who has had a premonition that came true that was important?
There are several people that have in their screening that said that they have had premonitions. So you want to take a few of those?
Yeah, I want to hear. Yeah, I definitely want to hear it, because Tony, by the way, last week when you chose the mother and the son I had told the mother, you guys, last week, if you didn't see the show, the week before, I was reading for someone, but I had a guest, and she wanted to know about her son whose friend died young, and he had just died. And I said, well, just call my office and we'll set up a Zoom session and we'll do it professionally. Well, they never called. But the next week, we took phone callers, and out of all the phone calls, which the phone lines are always packed, thank God, thank you all for calling, Tony, out of nowhere, chose an 801 area code, which was the mother and the son.
Isn't that crazy?
And when he picked up the mother, it didn't go through. He couldn't hear the voice. It was crazy.
That is crazy. Well,
But it was
meant
a show
to
of
be.
miracles. It was a show of miracles, and actually, I think the mom texted me or emailed me that saying it truly was a miracle that Tony chose them, because that's who I wanted to talk to. Crazy.
Nobody bow down to me. I'm not a prophet.
Well, you're a love, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you.
You mean you don't walk on water anymore?
I skip.
Oh, okay. Okay, so oh, and by the way, Tony, just before we take the caller,
Sure.
I had somebody on Facebook said, I can't wait to see you and Tony tonight. So just so you know, you're
Aw.
popular.
Thanks for including me, everyone, and thanks, Char.
Yeah, but thank you for helping me out.
Oh,
I was
please,
talking
always.
to nothing.
Always. I'm always going to be
Talking
here.
to Sonny.
And Sunny. Look at that face. Oh, just want to pinch it.
The cutest boy. The cutest boy he was groomed.
I can tell. Look how shiny he is. Shiny and new.
Best of show.
Oh, he's so cute.
Best of show. Such a good boy.
He is a good boy. Look at that. I always said, look at that cute little tushy.
He does have a cutest one. He's such a good boy. Okay. He
All
doesn't
right.
mind. Okay, who do we have?
Let's see. It's going to be a 248 number.
That's Michigan.
Hey, Michigan. You can verify what Char says about the Michigan. All right, you're on air with Char.
Thank you.
Hello.
How are you? Where is Mackinac Island? What lake is it?
Sorry?
What lake is Mackinac Island on?
Oh gosh, what lake is it? I'm asking my husband.
Is it
Lake Michigan and
No,
Lake
I don't
Huron.
think- It's Lake Huron. I didn't know if it was Lake Huron or Lake
Yeah.
Superior. Lake Huron, that's
It
right.
says Lake Huron.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's everything in Michigan?
It's good. Getting really cold, but
Yeah.
not terrible.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
It-
excited.
It was like 70
Yeah.
degrees last week.
Yeah, for 3 days straight, and then dropped to 30.
Oh, cool. So do you have a story for us?
I do, and it's funny. I mean, it wasn't life-changing, the actual premonition, but I was so young, and it still sticks out to me that I just kept having this dream over and over of walking out of a building of some sort, and in front of me was picnic tables and a huge hill and a lake and a big white house. And years later, after having this dream over and over, I was at an overnight summer camp in northern Michigan, and I walked out, and I literally lost my breath because it was the exact dream I had had for years,
Ooh,
and it was camp.
That's amazing. That gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. It was, I mean, I lost my breath. I was like, it took me a second. I was like, oh my gosh, this dream, I mean, I literally had it for probably 5 years straight. And it all of a sudden came to life in front of me.
How old were you when you went to camp?
I was 13.
Unbelievable. That's fantastic. Let's see. Was it?
And now I'm 35.
Was it Siegel? What camp was there?
It was Camp Maplehurst.
Oh,
it was
Maplehurst.
in Keewaydin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of people that went to Maplehurst.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. It's not, they sold it now. So now it's like a nature preserve.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. I went to summer camp up in Petoskey when I was 10. It's not there anymore.
What camp?
It was called Petasiga. It's not there anymore. It went away long time ago. The owner actually died on the beach there, I think.
Oh,
Not a
terrible.
Not a good story.
No.
So so your premonition, and have you had other premonitions?
I mean, not as strongly as that, or not that that's stuck in my mind, but I mean, 20 years later, 22 years later, and I still think about it all the time. But no, not as strongly as that. But I've been trying to meditate and try to connect with that more. So I'm hoping maybe it'll come out more. But yeah, not since that. So it was pretty phenomenal to me at 13 years old.
Wow. I think that's an amazing story. I love that.
Thank you. Well, you do readings for my mom all the time, so I'm so excited to actually be talking to you.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I love talking to you. I appreciate that you're calling. Well, then, I mean, we don't tell who my clients are, but please say hi to your mom for me and thank her.
I will, absolutely.
Okay. It's great to talk to you. Thanks so much for calling.
You.
Thank you. Bye-bye, dear.
All right.
Okay, that was a good one.
That was a good one. I love that one. All right. You ready for a next one?
I am.
Okay. 864. I think Mary. It's either Mary Helen or Mary Ellen. So we'll find out. 864. You're on the air with Char and Sunny.
Hey, Char, Sunny,
Hi.
Tony, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hi,
Where
thank you
are
for taking my
calling?
call again.
Of course. Where are you calling from?
South Carolina.
Oh, nice. So what was your premonition?
So there have been several, and this is we've had a conversation before how I get messages in dreams. And
Right.
the earliest one I can remember, it's not such a nice story, but I'll tell you about a nice story after. So I was probably about 4 years old because it was very significant. I was dreaming, and in my dream, my dad pulled a knife on my mom, and I woke up immediately. I was like, oh, I don't want that to happen. Why am I dreaming about this?
Whoa.
And it turns out, like after that, very soon after that, there was a domestic dispute where my dad did try to stab my mom, and they got a divorce after that. Thankfully,
Oh my
he didn't.
God.
But I felt guilty for the longest time. As a 4-year-old, I thought it was my fault because I dreamt it. Like I somehow made it happen. I was really confused. And but it took me a long time to realize it wasn't my fault. It was just I woke up out of the dream immediately because I was like, I don't want that to happen, and it was really weird. But
You know what?
on a better note,
But wait, first of all, that's an interesting comment because you had a premonition and it was something that wasn't a positive thing. You felt responsible because you
I did.
put ahead of time. And that has happened to a lot of people where they feel responsible because they thought it first and they thought because they thought it happened, but it isn't. It was a warning. And that's when people don't understand about their intuition. It can really screw somebody's head up. And you
right. Because at the time I was 4 years old, and so that was something that, nobody in the house talked about.
Right.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
It was odd. I will say that my daughter, she's 17 now, and this year she shared with me where she had her first premonition dream where she had a dream that she was at school, and for some reason she felt very lethargic and dizzy and confused, and she couldn't get up some stairs. And she was at school. She described the stairwell to me. She says, I'm in a stairwell. It's a lot of windows, and I know exactly what stairwell it is in school. And so I was like, avoid that stairwell. I don't know what it is, but you need to watch your surroundings. You need to make sure you don't accept drinks and food from friends. I don't know if someone's going to try to slip something into your meal or your drink. Like I was worried about sending her to school. And it happened like, it was crazy because it bothered her so much that she told me that morning when she woke up.
Wow.
And that same day during school, it wasn't her, but some other students had taken some drugs in the bathroom, and they had shut that stairwell down because one of the kids was climbing up the stairs and passed out. And but her premonition was about, I guess, that feeling, that drugged and disoriented and lethargic feeling, and being confused. And and it happened to somebody else in that school that very same day. So she's starting to get the gift. So we try to have open conversations about protection and surrounding yourself by the white light, the mirrored egg that you've taught.
Oh, good. I think, everything is made up of energy. And when we are connected to a person or a place, we can feel the energy of that place or that person. And
Okay, yeah.
so your daughter goes to that school and she was
Mhm.
feeling the energy of the school in a problem going on. And this is actually,
Mhm.
it's I always say that evil tips us off, or negative things always tip us off to protect ourselves. And
Mhm.
it's interesting because if she had that premonition, she needs to be aware when her intuition kicks in to, if to either trust or not trust something, and
Mhm. It makes sense.
how to um, make decisions in her life when that gut feeling comes in. But did she dream it or she thought it?
She dreamt it. She dreamt it, and it bothered her so much that that morning when she woke up, she shared it with me that morning before she went to school.
See, a lot of times, because our minds are so busy all day long and noisy, the
Mhm.
only time
Mhm.
our guardian angels and spirit guides can relate to us or get to us is when we're sleeping, because that's when our mind is more quiet.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's
So,
interesting that most people's premonitions have been in dreams so far tonight.
mhm.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Did you have another story?
Well, like the friend that you took the call before, like I'll have reoccurring dreams about places that I haven't been, and then when you get there, it's like, wait a minute, this isn't deja vu. Like I've been here in a dream. Um, because I grew up in Sacramento, and I'd have these reoccurring dreams about being somewhere that was like a dry desert, and like the skies are vibrant, like purples and hues of orange. And I thought, oh, okay, well, this is just a nice dream, but it would continue to happen. And then
Wow.
later, when I was about 16, we moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was with some friends somewhere, and we went to this particular place. And during the sunset, when the sky lights up with the deep hues of purple and orange, and it was the same experience with a girl. Like I'm looking at the things, and I'm like, I've been here, like a reoccurring dream. I've been here before at this moment when the sky looks just like this, and I was in awe. And it probably took me a few minutes to get myself together and like actually be back there with my friends, because I was just in awe that what I had dreamt repeatedly, I was actually standing there in a whole different state. Like
Wow.
who knew I was going to move to New Mexico and see that and be in that spot. So that was a better premonition that I've had. But
That's it. That's definitely a premonition. Like when you talk to people, it breaks a dream. Like you remember a dream that you never remembered before.
yes.
You just broke my dream. You
Really?
yeah, you and the other girl just broke a dream that I always have, that I have a house on a lake, but I think it's the cottage I grew up on. It's so weird in that
Mm-hmm.
it's not, I don't feel it's a premonition, but it's a dream I always have. It's so weird. You just
Yeah,
broke.
like a reoccurring dream. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm glad. You
that's
make
so
me feel special.
crazy.
I mean, shoot, your talent and the community you've built here, I love it that everybody's here. Everybody understands, they're supportive, or learning from each other. So you've
Isn't
built a
it?
great community. I
Oh,
appreciate
you're
you.
so kind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm learning so much. You guys are giving me material for my book. I am so grateful. But it's interesting because today I was thinking, well, I was going to not do any readings on Friday after Thanksgiving. I was going to take the weekend off, but you know what I thought? No. What better time to celebrate with all the people who watch CharVision than that Friday night? you know,
Yeah,
to
that's
celebrate
awesome. Yeah.
Thanksgiving together. I mean, nobody's doing anything anyway. Everybody's got to be locked up. We might as well be locked up together, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Well, you're so kind to call. What's your name?
Mary Helen.
Mary Helen. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for calling.
I appreciate you. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tony, you got some good callers in, Tony.
Right? You just have some good peeps following you.
I'm very lucky. I feel very blessed.
You should. They love Char.
Well, I don't know that everybody does, but so far the people calling.
Well, if everybody does, you're not doing it right. So.
You know what, Tony? You are so right.
Mm-hmm.
You are so right.
Let's see. All right.
But you heard the amazing Randy died.
No, I didn't hear that.
Oh my God. I don't know if anybody knows, who he was the big skeptic and tried to sabotage me when I was in the Netherlands and blah, blah, blah. He died at 90. And boy, what a big surprise, because he doesn't believe in anything spiritual.
At all?
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. There's no spirit world. All psychics are, fake and whatever. I just thought, oh, he finally got to the other side. What a big surprise he's in for.
Right? He's like, what did I do?
Karma's a bitch.
It says, yeah, Randy. Oh, he was a magician?
Yeah, he tried to be famous as a magician and he couldn't get well known because he had an ego that needed stroking.
Oh.
So he ended up being a skeptic.
Oh, well, that got him recognition.
That's how he became known. He would go on the talk shows and be a skeptic for
how
psychics.
funny. Wow. I guess he found his niche.
Whatever.
Well, wish him well on his next journey.
Yeah. Right. Well, hopefully he'll learn his lessons and grow.
I hope so too. Because there's other lifetimes ahead of him.
Yeah. Well, life is a school and we're here to learn lessons. So we're all always learning.
I agree with Char on that one.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for the next one? Because these people are ready to tell their stories. Or do you want to take a break? Do you want to take a break? Or do you want to do another one before we go to break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a quick break and get your premonitions ready.
Hey, you guys, keep calling in. We'll get as many readings, people in as we can. And I want to hear your stories.
All right. Here we go. Don't
Okay,
go anywhere.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere.
Hey everybody, it's Sunny and Char, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions. People have been calling the office and texting and emailing. Do I do private sessions? Well, yes, I do. And I love reading for my clients. I do phone, Skype, FaceTime, and in person if we're in the same city. I also teach intuition. So if you have an interest in doing that, or if you're interested in getting your family together and you want a group reading, I do those as well. So just call 248-909-2427, and I look forward to reading for you. Thanks.
Period. It's really too bad.
All right. We're back.
Oh, I'm texting. Okay. Who do we have now?
We have now, let's see here. Drum roll, please. Let's see. Oh, wow. I saw a good one here a second ago. Where did you go? The phone lines are full, but I'm trying to find the ones that say premonition.
Premonition.
Hey,
Hey, Sonny, you want to come up?
I know I saw one. Oh, here it is. Here's a 661. Elizabeth talking about a premonition.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Hello?
Elizabeth.
Hi.
How are you?
I know. I just talked to you last week. I can't believe I got through again.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Well, at least it's probably meant to be. Well, wait a second. What did we talk about last week?
It was the miracles, and I had my brother that had the liver transplant,
Oh, that was an amazing, hey, do you mind if I write about that in my book?
No, that'd be wonderful. I would be honored if you would.
Okay, I can't guarantee that the editors will keep it, but I want to write about it in my book. So I think I might have
Oh,
already.
yeah.
So tell us your premonition. I want to hear.
Well, I've had premonitions my entire life, and when I get them, they're like really, really strong. The basic premonitions I've had, three of the big ones I've had are not really happy stories, but I had very strong premonitions of my two best friends and my dad before they died. I knew they were going to die. The first big one I had was when I was 24, and I kept telling my best friend, I said, you need to go to the doctor, because she was like having abnormal cycles. And I had a premonition that she was going to die from lung cancer. And I kept telling her and urging her to go. Well, she finally did go to the doctor, and they did a pap smear, and they sent the results back on a little card that said your pap results were normal. And I just knew that it was not okay, that something was wrong. And I told her, I said, please go to another doctor. Something's wrong. And
Right.
she actually got upset with me. She's like, stop saying that. You're thinking negative. You're going to make something happen.
Oh,
And
God.
so it was like this, it was a really horrible situation, because I just knew. And sure enough, it was like a year after that, they found out that she had cervical cancer, and it had spread to her lungs. And she ended up, after, and I went through the whole chemo and, radiation and everything with her. And when they finally diagnosed her as terminal, she sat there, because, she came over and we were talking about it, and I was like losing it. She's like, always pay attention to your intuition. I should have listened to you. And,
Wow.
that was like the first big lesson, because it was like, I knew it was going to happen, and yet there wasn't anything I could do about it.
But Elizabeth, this is
Mhm.
the second time tonight, caller, you are, that knew something, and well, in the other case, she felt guilty because she thought she made it happen. But in your case,
Yes.
the person you were trying to protect, kill the messenger.
Hmm. Yes.
Kill the messenger.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've
Hmm.
told the story on the air or not, but I had a client, I think I did tell the story, who came to see if her husband was cheating on her. And I said, well, I'm not sure about that, but I think probably, but I think I see a lump in either her breast or her sister's breast. They had similar names, and I was confused.
Hmm.
And so she went and had a mammogram. She called me up. She says, well, I'm fine. And I said, oh, well, okay. I thought you wanted her money back or something. So 6 months
Oh,
later,
no.
6 months later, she called and she said, I had cancer. I have a lump in my breast.
Yeah. Yes. I know it's a really hard situation. It's like, if you have this information, it's like, what are you supposed to do with that when they don't want to hear it or believe it?
But
It's like it's
first,
nothing tangible.
yeah, but first, whenever you do readings, and whenever I do readings, I always ask permission. I never read for anybody
Yeah.
just without asking permission. But then
Yeah.
it was your friend, and you were trying to save her life, and so she probably,
Mhm.
of course, you had the conversation and you had closure about it, which is a blessing for you.
Yes, it was. And I was there when she passed away. And, and then shortly after that, I got married and I got pregnant with my first child.
Uh-huh.
And I knew my dad had been ill my entire childhood. So, I mean, he had been in and out of hospitals, but it was kind of like a normal, thing. I mean, I never thought, well, he's going to die this time. But when I got pregnant with my son, I knew that he was going to pass away before my son was born. So when I had my ultrasound, I told him, I said, I really want you to go to the ultrasound. And he was kind of old school, and he was born in 1929. And he was like, no, I don't want to, go to the ultrasound. But we weren't going to tell the sex to anybody. But I told him, I said, it's a boy, and we're going to name him
After
you know,
you.
after you, and he knew. Yeah.
Aw.
So, and he did. He passed away, you know, just 5 weeks before, you know, my son was born. So,
So bittersweet.
yeah. And then the third one was my other very dear friend. And she got pregnant, and she had a premonition that her baby had Down syndrome. And at the same time, I had a premonition that her son had Down syndrome, and we were both afraid to like tell each other.
Oh, wow.
And finally, yeah, she was like, she didn't want to say it. She told me later she didn't want to say it out loud because then it would make it real. And I didn't want to say anything to her because my experience had been if you say something, you know,
Right.
they might get upset.
Right.
And so when she went to have the amnio done, because she was 43 when she had him, she was waiting for the results, and she finally came over to the house, and she was waiting there with me when she got the call. And she looked at me and I looked at her, and we just knew without ever saying a word, you know, that he had Down syndrome. And it's like, it was just so weird. But the thing I didn't tell her was that I also had a premonition that she died, and I didn't know how she was going to die. She had high blood pressure, and she frequently did not take medication for it. And we're both ICU nurses, so she knew better. And when the baby was about 6 months old, it got very, very strong, and she said she had run out of her blood pressure medicine. And I said, Tracy, I said, you have got to promise me you are going to the ER. I said, you've got to go now. And she was like, why? Am I going to die? And I said, and I lied to her, and I said, I don't think you're going to die, but I said, just promise me that you're going to go. I said, because, you know, something bad could really happen. I said, we're both unit nurses, and we know that what can happen. She didn't go, and she had a brain aneurysm, and then she died too. Yeah. So with that one, I'm like, maybe I should have told her. I really felt guilty, you know, for years after that, because I was like, maybe I should have told her that I thought she was going to die.